I talk.
You talk.
We talk. Let's talk
Talk
together.
together. It's talk time with Brian and Randy.
I'm Brian. He's Randy.
Talk time, Brian.
So
We're
Randy.
here. It's awesome. It's been a long time.
I know.
But we've got some great things today, man. Have you had a good week? How are things going, man?
Doing all right. Doing a lot of home repairs.
Yes.
And finishing my ceilings.
Okay.
And doing a lot of work on stills.
I think I saw a picture where you had your kitchen all, velvet,
Covered in plastic.
Yeah, covered in plastic.
Fun stuff.
ceiling work.
Mm-hmm.
So you moved from your outdoor work to your indoor work. Are you ready to go back to work so you can be done with the...
Absolutely. This has been a really big chore that I jumped headfirst into, and it's been kicking my tail. So,
Awesome. Well, so how's the poison ivy? You healing up from that?
Finally subsiding. I have a couple spots that honestly, I think something bit me. I don't think it was poison ivy. A couple spots, but
Is it Shelby?
What? No, she's a lot worse mark.
Well, shout out to Shelby. She's getting older here. This
I
girl
know,
is
tomorrow.
growing up.
Yeah, this weekend, Shelby will be 12 years old. My little munchkin.
Man, I've been knowing this
She's
guy
so she's on that.
for 13 years, man. I've been knowing this guy a long time. Amazing.
Quite like it.
Amazing. Hey, listen, man. I brought some show and tell stuff today.
I just brought a bunch of hats.
I was excited because I said, next time we're going to do some show and tell things. And so I wanted to show you a couple things. I wanted to see a couple of your things, man, and kind of see how that fits and stuff. But one of my favorite things is wearing the right hats. You know, as a father, as a husband, as a pastor, as a friend, as a leader, as just all kinds of different things, that we do. We wear different hats. And I got fun hats. I got ball caps. I got this. I got that. But this was my fun cap right here. So this was
nice.
This keeps me warm. I don't look cool, but I'm one of the warmest guys in the cold day.
What is the purpose of the extra fur on the sides? It's just little spots right
I think this is my Elmer Fudd. I'm hunting wabbit.
All right.
You're supposed to be able to undo it, but I think they've got it attached pretty well.
Okay.
And you can go down for your ears. But see, I can do this.
Oh yeah, I can't do that.
We look kind of, what I say, we look kind of Canadian. Eh? How you doing, eh? What are you doing, eh? Across the border, eh? Looking like,
I just have to roll it a little bit to get it up. But this is actually a Mercedes-Benz.
Well, this is probably a Pinto Yugo, sort of a gremlin type of what's that?
Mercedes?
Marshall.
Mercedes trucker.
I like it. And I'm gonna get this engraved with something, just
Engraved.
No, monogrammed.
Embroidered?
Embroidered. But I loved it because it was all fuzzy and it reminded me of just like the Woodsman guys. But then I realized other people had maybe little cooler hats that not as fuzzy and as big.
No, that was a Mercedes-Benz hat. This is this is actually a Scottish flat cap.
Scottish flat cap.
Yeah, because it'll be flat. But this is actually in my Shepherd tartan, so my family heritage is Scottish. So we'll show a little tell.
All right.
Scottish heritage, and in Scotland you have different families, different family names have their own plaid or tartan.
Okay.
And this is ours, a black and white plaid. It's a really old, really ancient plaid because it's all black and white.
I like it. So that's distinctive of the Shepherd family.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome.
Most of the families have their own pattern or colors.
Mm-hmm.
And how you can tell that, one reason we can tell it's such an old color or such an old family is because this is before they had a lot of the colors all of the different dyes to make all kinds of other colors. So all they had was black and white. So they had different black and white patterns. And this is a different one. This is called an 8/4 cap.
8/4.
8/4.
So I bet I know why, but you tell us, man. I can see kind of like a pizza shape up there.
Yeah, it is a pizza shape on top. So it looks not really a quarter, but it's a section of material here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 quarters.
Awesome.
Make the 8/4 cap.
I like it. And that goes with the Shepherd tartan.
Yep, Shepherd tartan as well.
Now, I don't know if this is the Scalise tartan, but it's red and it's black and it looks kind of Italian and it's fuzzy. And I got a picture of me and my dad in one like this.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
got one too. So
That's
I showed you, and then later I will post online the picture of me and my dad in
Does
it.
the front flap flip down to cover your eyes?
I think it's sewed on there, but I could do this. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Anyway, that's my show. You got one more hat?
I do have one more hat.
Something distinctive that identifies you?
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Crash.
That was really loud.
Brian Crash Shepherd. Evil Knievel.
This is one of my many
Angel.
motorcycle helmets. Back when I had motorcycles, sad face. I don't have any more right now. But this is one of my motorcycle helmets. So you strap it in like this and it locks it in.
Yep.
And you can snap it over here.
Now, as we talk about show and tell, we've shown the hat. Now tell us why that's so important.
Protect the noggin.
That's it.
In the case of an accident or fall off the bike, you gotta protect your head. And it is the most important. They have different regulations for different helmets. They have DOT helmets and they have Snell approved DOT
Okay.
helmets. Which, that is neither.
That is important to know and to remember. Every hat has its purpose. Mine, obviously, I'm not going to wear that in the deep south on a hot day.
Wouldn't recommend it.
No, I'm going to burn up. But man, I'm going to tell you, I've worn this on some cold days here in Georgia and in Tennessee. And I may not look the prettiest, but I am going to tell you, my head is warm and it's a good feeling. And so you've got your different hats that identify your heritage and where you're from, and then also where you work, but also keeping your head warm. My last show and tell is I didn't know if you knew, guys, but there was a season in my life where I was a fireman. In the National Professional Qualification NPQ certified. I was a firefighter 1, worked at a local fire department for almost 3 years. And so for a lot of years, that was really my identity, what I would have loved to do growing up. Kind of took a little different turn here and there, but I got to do that for a couple of years. And so a number of years back, my wife got me this, and it's a little hamster singing.
Aww.
Yeah, look at that. I'm going to tell you all about it. They call him the fireman.
That's adorable. That's really cute. He's doing the cabbage patch. That bicycle? Or climbing a ladder? He has the most hippest dancing. Is that a legitimate dance? Asking our person off camera. Is that okay?
Off-camera
I
person?
mean, I don't know, so I want to make sure because he was doing it, and our off-camera person was doing
She was
the same stuff.
She was following me.
Well, it was spot on. It was pretty amazing. Just, I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever break down the door with an axe?
I did not break down a door. I went through a door with my foot because you go up, you hit it with that, and you make it through. So I did that, but I did use an axe and a chainsaw one night on a fire that we were venting the roof, and the fire had already gotten into the attic. So we were trying to slow it down, make sure that we were, so my crew, I say my crew, I was part of a crew that was on the roof. And so we had to mark out where we were going to do the 3x3 box, and we were hitting in. But I had the axe going up, but my partner came up and he had the chainsaw. Chainsaw works faster than an axe, better tool. But we were able to get that in, wedge it open, vent it, and create an airspace, which actually accelerates a little bit of the fire, but it draws it into a different direction, so the firefighters down below and on top can address different things. So.
See, I was actually thinking, I was like, man, because I would think that with the chimney in place, it would have stifled it some. But then when you're talking about like venting it, I was like, man, that's going to allow more oxygen.
Yeah.
Like
So when the oxygen hits, of course, every fireman, we've got our gear on and stuff like that, and we know to wedge it. Usually, you try to do it in such a way that when you do the thing, it doesn't just drop through, but you can turn it like this on a rafter. So yeah, I've gotten to do that before.
Really cool.
It scared me to death, man. I was on top of a roof that was on fire. That could have easily, But we've done some show and tell, and how can we apply this to our faith, man? How can we
Well-
make a jump to understanding that as born again believers, our life is to show and tell as well?
Well, a book I've been reading for a little bit and doing a little Bible study in is James. And James chapter 2
Mm-hmm.
really feels like it falls in line with the show and tell.
Okay.
Now I'm going to read it just a little bit. It says, what use is it, my brethren, if someone says he has faith, but he has not works, or no works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is without clothing and need of daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warmed, and be filled, and yet do not give them what is necessary for their body, what use is that?
Mm-hmm.
Even so, faith, if it has no works, is dead, being by itself. So, same thing, show
Yeah.
and tell. So we're supposed to tell people about God, but also got to show people God.
Right.
So it's not just a one-sided thing. You can't just tell people about God and then not live the life. You
Exactly.
can't. You got to do both sides. You got to help out, help people out. You got to be Jesus with skin on. You need to be
like
that
that.
representation to people around you.
I like that comment. Jesus with skin on. People need to hear the word, but they also need to see it.
Yep.
See it lived out. My translation, when I looked it up, I was reading from the Good News translation, and this is what it says in James 2:17. So it is with faith. If it is alone and includes no action, then it's dead. And there was a lot of controversy back then because people thought that James was saying that we're saved by works.
Yeah.
But we're not saved by our works. Our works are evidence that we're actually walking and living out what we say we believe.
Yeah.
So that goes to the show and tell.
And that actually will continue on going from that segue. Man, I wish I had a segue right now. Just kind of roll by. With that segue, just imagine going into even the next chapter, chapter 3, James chapter 3, verse 4.
Okay.
Look at the ships also, that they are so great and are driven by strong winds, are still directed by a very small rudder.
Mm-hmm.
No, I guess
No.
I lost it.
No, well, what happens, guys, is that our life should be should represent what we believe.
Yeah.
And I think where you were going on this, or where I would go on this, is saying that the small things do matter, and that even the little things, like a little rudder on a ship or on a boat or a small spark or the tongue, it can change the direction
Yeah.
of a ship. And I don't know where I'm going either, so it's pretty cool. So guys, you get that sometimes. As cool as we are, we're cool even when we don't know where we're going and what we're doing.
Get lost
Get lost. Hey, but if you're lost with somebody you like,
from this.
it's awesome. Social distancing. Hey, listen, social distancing was lifted.
Yep.
At least on a general level, people are slowly going to start coming out of their homes and venturing out. Got to be safe in doing that, but it's nice to know that eventually I'm going to be able to get a haircut because I'm not one of the shave it at home guys.
I cut mine yesterday.
Oh, you're a good man. You're a good fella.
Yeah.
But anyway, show and tell, man. Now listen, this is something that we would like to do. If you've got something you'd like to show and tell, why don't you post it in the comments?
Yeah.
Take a picture of it.
Absolutely.
Show us what's interested you, and then tell us something about that. Maybe it's something about you, about sports, about shopping, about your work, about your kids, something that you did or that you enjoy that we may not know, or that others may not know. You didn't know that, you may not have known how much Brian loved his motorcycle, loves motorcycles, loves doing all that, and will eventually have another one.
Yes.
But for a season, you had to move on from that, and you had to pay some bills, you had to take care of some things and
Yeah.
do some stuff. And so it's important to learn a few things about each other, but know why we have those things in our lives, man. It's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. So for this week, show and tell your
That's
life.
it.
Show people God through the way you act and the way you talk, and tell people about God.
That's it. Be a difference maker, pastor your family, and know that we love you. This has been Talk Time with
Brian,
and
Randy.
thank you. God is good, 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 good.